and his pants. How many times have I said that? Charlie, are you surprised? Join the Taliban family page. Prepare for the Taliban, that's for sure. All right. Guy, I have this theory that social media is like an ingredient in your pantry, that if you add it to any
scorched earth debate about
hey, good manners will open doors that the best education cannot. Still didn't explain why she locked me in a rabbit hutch for 3 years, but it made me a stronger person. Charlie, what's your problem?
the idea of you in a rabbit hutch with a goat is just more than I can.
Let go of the goat, okay? How many times have I said that? Charlie, does being mean help online opinions get seen? It's true. Social media can make you a zealot. At least that's how this study tells it. A study out of Yale, a discredited community college in Connecticut, found that likes and shares are the reason why we post expressions of moral outrage. It also found that social media pulls moderates to the extreme, while people who are already partisan grew even more so. Basically, social media is a steroid that boosts a-hole behavior. Follow me on Twitter for details. But moral outrage can be good and bad. For instance, the civil rights movement grew out of outrage, but so did the cancel culture hysteria. But it's like my mom used to say, good manners will open doors that the best education cannot. Still didn't explain why she locked me in a rabbit hutch for 3 years, but it made me a stronger person. Charlie, what's your problem?
The idea of you in a rabbit hutch with a goat is just more than I can.
Let go of the goat, okay? How many times have I said that? Charlie, are you surprised? So it's interesting about how human nature, you think that humans would be galvanized by compliments and nice things, but in fact, it's when they feel something negative that engages their kind of, that gives them the energy to get even more hysterical and strange and extreme.
But isn't that really what is so destructive about these times, is that the more sane you are, the crazier you're becoming.
Yes.
Because it's like this scorched earth debate about everything. You know, take vaccines, for example. You could have taken every vaccine, you could have given your children every vaccine ever invented, and then you ask a question about injecting your child with an experimental vaccine, and then suddenly you're an anti-vaxxer.
Right.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
But did you see where the Taliban today was asked about free speech?
And they made fun of Facebook.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's like, and it's uncomfortable, because I'm like, well, okay, so I agree with you on that.
So did you join the Taliban family page on Facebook?
I have a problem. I don't know what I'm going to do about it.
Charlie Hurt now.
Just start growing a beard. We're going to get concerned.
Yes.
I think I could.
You got the hair for the Taliban, that's for sure. I don't even know.
I can get a goat.
Yeah,
you need to change your socks.
I'm good with animals.
Yes, his socks are not, and his shoes, and his pants, and his tie. In fact, everything. Take off your clothes. All right. Guy, I have this theory that social media is like an ingredient in your pantry, that if you add it to any recipe, it destroys the meal. So whether it's a political idea or it's legal or a moral issue, it's like Ipecac. You put it in there, everybody vomits.
It's probably unhealthy, right? I've been on Twitter for far too long. I spend too much time on Twitter. Part of it is my job. That's where I justify it. But I think that self-righteousness is addictive. And there's so much positive reinforcement. The angrier you are, the crazier you are, the more infuriated you seem.
Yeah.
People just get these dopamine hits and they respond to it. Rather than, I mean, how often does someone send you, like, oh my God, you have to see this unbelievably rational Twitter thread?
Right.
Like, no. It's like, what did this person say?
Yeah.
And when that is the way that you communicate and the feedback that you get is encouraging, I think it's human nature to keep doing it. And it turns relatively sane people into insane people, and you watch it happen in real time on social media over a span of weeks, months, years. It's real.
I love it when people tweet at you and they have a 1 with a /11, like 10, it'll be 11 tweets. It's like, who do you think you are? I'm not even going to read the first one. Rob, You're on Twitter a fair amount. You were on last night. You were setting it on fire.
I am a little bit, and I'm still a big believer that when you meet people in person, they're different than online. And most people are really good, seriously. And even in war zones that I've been, most people just trying to get on with their lives. And on Twitter, you got to bear with a lot of people because they're not yelling at you; they're yelling at the idea of you on their screen. That's it. And you know, people do, they say some nasty stuff. You know, I've lost jobs over Twitter, but I blame bourbon on that.
Yes.
So it is what it is. I mean, you know, went to war for 20 years. Excuse me for having a good time, right?
Exactly. You're getting thrown off Twitter.
When you meet people in person, and we were talking about the Raiders earlier, talking about conservatives, liberals, libertarians. I met two people at lunch today from Oakland in Raiders hats, and we had the best time. They're from Oakland, so they're liberal. We talked. We got along great. Hugged earlier. Talking about conservatives, liberals, libertarians. I met two people at lunch today from Oakland in Raiders hats, and we had the best time. They're from Oakland, so they're liberal. We talked. We got along great. Hugs once I left, and then I said, I'm going to be on Gutfeld. They said, well, I'm going to unfollow you. I'm like, well, there we go.
Jerks.
Yeah, right?
Thank you for your service.
You mean at the bar?
Yes.
Cheers.
Yeah. Did you ever say that to waiters? Thank you for your service, just for the hell of it. Anyway, and then right on the receipt, like I killed Bin Laden and you killed my meal. Just don't tip. Kat, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. So take this segment home.
Okay, sure. I agree that people are. It doesn't matter at all because people sometimes are a lot meaner on the internet than they would be in real life. But it goes both ways. People are nicer sometimes on the internet than they would be in real life. I constantly see some people liking photos of people and writing, oh my God, you're so beautiful.
Yes.
Fire emoji, fire emoji. I'm like, did you just call me to tell me you hate this person?
LOL.
So it's all fake. And if you are living for that, then that's really sick.
Can I tell you a funny story right before we leave here?
Yes.
Speaking of social media, I used to work with meatheads, Navy SEALs. We'd carry sledgehammers and guns. And I had a dude that thought LOL meant lots of love. He was like, heard about your grandma's funeral, LOL. No, you're not. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah. They never found him. Just disappeared. LOL. All right, up next, if their jokes are lame, are men and women treated the same?